Alright, here we got part 3 of the video. As you can see, I took a die grinder and I rounded that off just a little bit where I had to cut. You don't want to leave any sharp corners because it'll give a stress fracture over time. Now I've taken this, originally we shot like that. We spun it on around after loosening it up. Took my die grinder, which not everybody has. You can take a sawzall or a grinder, a drill bit, whatever you've got, torches, whatever you can. Grind this down just a little bit so it's nice and smooth. You can get your ratchet right up in here. So, let's see if I can do this one-handed here. What you'll do, you'll come right up on it like this. And she's going to fight me just a little bit. There we are. Now I'll tell you what, let's try setting this down, see if I can get you in a better spot here. There we go. Now, come right up in here just like this. Phone's wanting to fight with me here. I'm going to try to get you a better view here. Let's see. There we go. Now we got a little better going on there. Now, go ahead. And as you can see too, swivel is an absolute godsend on doing something like this. You almost cannot do this without it. But now, if that's out of the way, as you can plainly see now, having that notch will allow you to come right in. As you can see your shock tower right here, you'll be able to come right in, lay right in that swivel perfectly. Tighten that bolt up. You'll be able to come right up through. As you can see in between the shock mount here, you'll be able to come right up. Your socket will lay perfectly in your groove there. Then you'll be able to come on the back side. Your upper control arm mount, you'll be able to tap right into this bolt, and then of course your upper last 3. So that's pretty much it. I know the videos were kind of short and in between, but actually I got you spun upside down here. There we go. Hopefully that helps. I've watched a lot of YouTube videos over the years on different things. I haven't been able to find much on this. But like I said, it's pretty well simple. Instead of having to take the entire motor mount off, I was a structural iron worker for years. I've done a lot of mechanics over the years. Of course, you can see I got a couple spots where I got a little deep with the sawzall blade. I might hit that with the welder just to touch it up. But, cutting a groove in like this, cutting a notch there a little bit deeper than I wanted to go, but it will not hurt this over time. Unless you're doing a lot of off-roading, which is a little bit different, then yes, I would suggest trying to take the motor mount off. But like I said, with everything out of the way now, it's wide open. With, a full manifold sticking out like this, it's next to impossible to try to get in there. That's why I decided to try the sawzall idea. Not everybody has a sawzall, but if you're going to jump onto something like this, I would suggest going and spending a little bit of money. Plus if you're going to be a backyard shade tree mechanic like I've done for years, I've worked around a lot of coal mines, powerhouses, things like that. So, I've had access to tools, which, everybody knows when you're iron worker, boilermaker, fitter, things like that. You have access to a lot of these tools over time, over years. But if you're going to be trying to, accomplish something like this, I would highly suggest going and buying the tools to have. Because plus for future things, you're going to have them anyway. I know not everybody has them, and if you don't, there are other ways to do this, but I would not try it. This is probably the quickest, easiest way that I've ever found to take off an exhaust manifold on a truck such as this. I've had Dodge Rams, I've got Dodge Durangos as well, I've got several trucks. The Durango's not as bad. The Ram, hell, it's simple. Your manifold literally sits right there, and everything is easily accessible. As far as, Ford and the way they manufactured this, the design on this was absolutely retarded. Especially they put this motor mount. Who in the hell would ever put a mount over top of your manifold like that, allowing you to not have access to 2 bolts. Even though, you know, as you can see, the one there, it's just a little bit, but it's just enough. You cannot get a socket onto it. The lip on this one was the same way. It's just enough. You can't get a ratchet or socket onto it. So that's the easiest way I would suggest to try to do this and tackle this project. You know, I hope this helps everybody out. I know I wasn't very in depth on the step-by-step processes, but you know, as you can see, it was pretty well simplistic. I'll move the hood out of the way here and I'll show you what we pretty much got. I've got the welder set up. As you can see, I'm going to weld a nut onto that one stud, try to back it out after I torch it, heat it up a little bit. And if that doesn't work, then of course, you know, it's the next step, which is the easy out drill and tap. But you know, there's your one piece. Now granted, they're all broke up into chunks. That was the easiest way for me to get them out. But you'll have, you know, your one piece here. I believe this was your end piece. That was the last one that came off right there. Let's see if we can get these put back together here. Oh yeah, there we go. Backwards here a little bit. This sat pretty much just like this. You know, a couple of them have broken off as I broke it apart, but it was honestly the easiest way to get to it. You had that one there. This was your very end tail piece. Get some of these bolts out of the way here. You know, as I said, your easiest way that I have found was going to be to saw these out, just because it gives you so much more access and room to them. Let's see here. Anyway, there, I paused it for 1 sec. I threw everything together. You know, you can see there, most all the parts, you know, there's still some odds and ends pieces. I cut some of the ears off here and there, but you know, for the most part, like I said, it's a lot easier. It takes a little bit of time. I have been on this now for, let's see what time we have. I am looking at 2.5 hours. That's start to finish, 2.5 hours manifolds out. You know, if you take a little bit of time with your bolts, you know, like I said, you can see every bolt's out except for that one. If you take a little bit of time, run them in, run them back out, run them back in, run them back out, just slowly mess around with them. Nice thing is, this being an aluminum block, they don't typically gall up and rust in like they do on an iron block. But, you know, I got lucky on this one. Every bolt but that one came out, and I'm going to mess with it a little bit, finagle it. You know, that's pretty much best I can tell you, and I hope this definitely helps somebody else out. You know, if it does, or if you have any other suggestions, you know, anything you want me to comment on, anything you want me to show some more of, you know, please feel free, put a comment in there, let me know. I'm going to start making some other videos. You know, I do a lot of different work in the garage here. I've got pretty much just about anything set up in this shop that I need, other than having a lift, which that's going to be coming here in the near future. You know, not everybody does. You know, as you can see right now, I did it with just jack stand. You know, what most everybody has in a typical garage. I'm going to try to start doing some other videos on some, you know, odds and ends, things that you don't find a lot of stuff on, because I do a lot of different work for a lot of my buddies and just a lot of different people on the side when I've got time to do it. So as again, you know, if anybody has any comments or suggestions, anything they want to know, any questions they have, even on other vehicles too, I'll do my best to try to answer it and help you out. So, you know, shoot me a comment, shoot me a like, and if there's anything else you need, please feel free to message me. Thanks.